Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1793. Obviously, I'm messing around with a piece of wood and a tree. Can't see the moral obligation to unit, UNIT. Let's talk about that for a minute. Today and every day I hop on and I document the journey as I'm pretty much doing online things these days. Little online, little offline. It's 8 below today. I love that I don't have to go out of the house, but I do have to go out of the house. I've got a meeting today. So it would be nice if I didn't have to go out of the house, but sometimes I still like to get out and go, right? Get up and go. Just like our challenge a couple of years ago for the last, I guess, 2020 and 2021, we did the Get Up and Go challenge. Now we're doing the annual challenge. We did an annual challenge as well, and we're continuing to do an annual challenge this year, and next year we'll do an annual challenge as well. I like doing annual challenges. Everybody makes fun of me, but I don't care because they make me feel good. They keep me progressing toward what I want, and that is the purpose, my personal purpose and reason for doing an annual challenge. So today, a couple pieces of content that I create every day. One is for my Supersize Your Business for Female Entrepreneurs group, although I've got, I think, more men than women in that group. And the second is for the annual challenge, the BU 365-day challenge, do one thing every day that improves us. Today's topic, I'm just asking 2 questions every day this month, the month of December, and to finish off the year, because we covered a lot in this year's challenge. It was every day we did something, and we focused on the 9 areas and aspects of a life framework that I personally use to manage my life and set priorities and determine my goals and break things down so that I can make sure I'm always working toward them. I wanted to share that with the group. So it's been a busy, heavy year, and I wanted to make December, since it's such a busy month for me and for most of us, most of the people that I interact with, I wanted to make it something a little bit lighter than the heavy topics that we were talking about throughout the year. So 2 questions every day. The questions today were about our moral obligation to take care of the planet, why or why not. And then the second one was, if actions speak louder than words, is speaking in action? And that one I kind of wanted to say, yeah, speaking is obviously an action. It's a verb, right? To speak is a verb. So speak is a verb, and obviously it's an action, but we might have different thoughts of that. Some people don't believe that their actions speak louder than words. But the truth is, people that are important, people that matter, are always watching, right? Even people that don't matter are watching sometimes, but the people that matter the most, our children, our grandchildren, etc., they're watching what we do and how we behave and how we respond to things, because that's how they learn. That's how they take their cues. They will, whether we want them to or not, turn out like us. And in some ways that's great. Other ways, not so much. My kids are cluttery, just like I am. Obviously, with this current background, you can assume that about me. Now, it just means I have lots of storage space in my brain, right? Doesn't mean anything else. People like to assume things about people based on what they see. And, what you see is sometimes what you get. A lot of times what you see is not what you get. So our idiom for today was can't see the wood for the trees. And that is related to, of course, can't see the forest for the trees, which we've talked about in the past. But this one's slightly different because it's about a housing development. I don't think they were called housing developments back then, but a famous architect, I think his name was John Wood, but I could be wrong. Let me see. Yep, John Wood. He created a neighborhood, let's call it. I don't think they were called neighborhoods back then, but what did they call it? A concourse of houses, and in front of those houses they planted trees, and people wanted to drive by or walk by or horse carriage by. I'm not sure when this was exactly, but they wanted to see his houses, but the trees obscured their view. So they started to say you can't see the wood for the trees, and that was expounded on over the years. But it reminds us that we need to pay attention to what's urgent, necessary, important, and what we can just throw away or trash because it doesn't even matter as we're growing and building and supersizing our business. That's what UNIT stands for. So do we have a moral obligation to take care of the planet? I personally think we have a responsibility to make the world a better place and leave it better than we found it. That's just my personal opinion. What do you think? Like I said, I got to go out in the freezing, frigid cold weather. We're going to have a couple really cold days in my neck of the woods, and And then we're going to have a blizzard too. So we'll see how Christmas plays out. Luckily, I'm not traveling very far for Christmas, so it makes it a non-stressful time for me. If I can help you in any way, just ask, you know, especially as you're busy and you're struggling, you don't want to have a hard time trying to figure out a question. If you try to figure it out, just ask. You can just direct message me. If you're watching this on Facebook, you can direct message me on this particular video. If you are hearing the podcast, just search me out, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. I think there's only one. And then Pajama Grandma, Gramma, if you can't find me as Sharon Horne-Ellstrom or you're having a hard time. Or go to any one of our pages and just direct message, leave me a message. Or there's always Voxer, my favorite tool, pajamagramma@gmail.com. That's it. Have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.